which of the following two representation is quicker to read and understand the sales of the number of cars by a company? So in first way, we have a table, and in the second one, we have a graph. So obviously, by just looking at the graph, it is pretty much easier for us to understand regarding the data which is involved, right? So graph is very much useful and it also helps us in physics very much. So let's understand how it helps. So first of all, what is graph? So a graph is a 2D representation in which we have horizontal axis and vertical axis which intersect each other at a point O. What quantity should be taken in X and Y? So generally in physics, on X-axis we put time, while on Y-axis we use either distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, anything. So independent variable on X, which is time, and dependent variable on Y-axis, which can be position, velocity, acceleration, anything. So time I am taking on X-axis, and this time distance I am taking on Y-axis. So let's see this example. Here, as you can see, a car is moving and we need to draw its graph. So how it is going to be? So it would be look like this. As you can see, our car is moving and for a short period of time, it stops and then again it moves. And it is moving with uniform velocity. That's why the graph here is a linear graph. Somewhere look like this. Can we find the speed of the car from this data in this graph? Yes, we can find. So for distance time graph, if you know its slope, then you can determine its speed. So by figuring out slope, we can determine speed. And for slope, what we need? Change on y-axis divided by change on x-axis. So that's how you can easily determine speed. Distance time graph for uniform motion. So we have a table, and in this table you can easily observe that the object is moving with uniform motion. So on x-axis and y-axis we need to plot this. So on x-axis I am taking time, on y-axis distance. Now let's mark the distance and time. So first point is 0, 0, another point is 5, 7, then we have 10, 14, 15, 21, 20, 28, and 25, 35. If you join this, you will get such kind of graph which represent uniform motion. So the graph is a linear graph. The straight line in the distance time graph shows that the distance is increasing with time. The body is said to have uniform motion. Find the velocity of the object in the given graph. So this graph has been given and I need to determine its velocity. So any 2 point I can choose, and by the method of slope, I can determine its speed. So let's figure out. So velocity is slope of distance time graph. So I am taking 2.5, 7 and 10, 14, x1, y1 and x2, y2. These are my points. Now for slope, I want change in y divided by change in x. So in this way, change in y is going to be 14 minus 7. Change in x is 10 minus 7. So 7 upon 5 meter per second or else 1.4 meter per second is the speed of the object. Body is in rest. Its position time graph, or you may say distance time graph, look like this. If body is moving with uniform motion, its graph will look like this. Here, the initial distance of the body is 0, while in this case, the initial distance of the body is x. but in both way, body is moving with uniform speed. So which car is covering more distance in the same time? So this red color car, as you can see, in 8 seconds of time, it is covering 220-meter distance roughly, while blue color car is covering approximately 120-meter distance. So obviously, red color car is the answer of this one. Distance time graph for non-uniform motion. So the table is given and it shows non-uniform motion. Now let's plot its graph. Okay. So if you plot this 2, 1, then 4, 4, 6, 9, 8, 16, 10, 25, 12, 36, 14, 49. So graph will look like this. As you can see, it's a curve. So in case of distance time graph, if object is moving non-uniformly, its graph is a its graph is in a shape of curve. So the nature of the graph is non-linear. The graph shows that distance increase with time. The body cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. Hence, this graph is for non-uniform motion. Body moving with non-uniform motion. So if graph will look like this, as you can see, if graph will look like this, it shows uniformly increasing velocity. So yes, this graph is for non-uniform speed and it shows non-uniformly increasing velocity. While in the second case, this shows non-uniformly decreasing velocity. Okay. Now let's try the question. Describe the motion. So distance time graph is in a straight line. So it is moving with uniform velocity. Second part, how far does the motorbike move in 30 seconds? So in 30 seconds, motorbike reach to 600 meter. So after 30 seconds, motorbike cover 600 meter. Calculate the speed. So speed I need to tell. So for that, I need to pick any 2 points. Okay. So I am taking this point and let's say this point. And I need to determine its slope. So for slope, I need change in y, which is 400 minus 200, and change in x, which is 20 minus 10. So speed is going to be change in y. So 400 minus 200 will give me 200, and change in x, 20 minus 10, this will give me 10. So speed is going to be 20 meter per second. So that would be the answer of the third part. Now let's move ahead. Okay. The question is, the graph given alongside shows the position of a body at different time. Calculate the speed of the body as it moves from A to B. So A to B, body is moving. I need to determine change in Y upon change in X. So change in Y. So this is change in Y from A to B, and change in X. So this is change in X from A to B. So change in Y is 3 minus 0. And change in x is 5 minus 2. So I am getting 1 meter per second. In the second part, B to C, this is very easy. From B to C, my speed is 0 because particle is not moving. Okay. Now from C to D, the change in y is 7 minus 3 and change in x is 9 minus 7. So 7 minus 3 and 9 minus 7. So 4 upon 2, the speed is going to be 2 meter per second. At start, how far apart were the two cars? So in the starting, the distance between the car is 50 meter. Second, which had greater speed at 12:30 p.m. Okay. So as you can see, blue color car is moving fastly, right? So At 12:30, blue color car has greater speed. When and where did B overtake A? So B overtake A at 12. Okay. So for first part, answer is 50 kilometer. For second, the answer is blue. For third, 12 a.m. and after 150 kilometer. Nature, nature of slope. So if distance time graph look like this, so this reason indicate slope is positive and constant positive velocity. If in case of distance time graph, slope will look like this. It shows slope is zero and the object is in rest. If graph will look like this part indicates slope is negative and constant negative velocity. If angle is greater than 90 degree, the slope is negative. If angle is less than 90 degree, the slope is positive. So initially displacement increase. After some time, displacement change its direction and at the end it becomes zero. So in option A and B, B correctly depict the situation. The question is, the below figure shows the displacement time graph of a car. Find the average velocity of the car from 20 to 40 seconds. So from 20 to 40 second, average velocity I need to determine. So in this case, the slope is negative because we know we always takes angle from positive x-axis and always moves in anti-clockwise direction. So from 20 second to 40 second, my slope must be negative. So velocity is also negative. So in this case, either B can be the answer or D can be the answer. Because in only B and D, my velocity is negative. Now, let's figure out average velocity. So for that, what I need to do, change in y-axis divided by change in x-axis. So change in y divided by change in x. Change in y divided by change in x. So this part indicates change in y, which is obviously going to be 50 minus 0. And change in x. So change in x is 40 minus 20. So my change in y is going to be 50 minus 0 and change in x is 40 minus 20. So 50 divided by 20 or else 2.5. And slope must be negative. So minus 2.5 meter per second must be the answer. Option D is correct. Next question is, for the displacement time graph of a car as shown in the figure, the ratio of magnitude of the velocity during the first 2 seconds and the next 4 seconds is. So first 2 seconds, the ratio of velocity and next 4 seconds. Okay, so that thing I need to determine. No problem. I need to determine only slope. So from O to A, the change in y is 20. The change in y is 20 and change in x is 2. So the speed is 10. Again from 2 to 6, the change in y is 20 and the change in x is 4. 6 minus 2, 4. So that part I am getting 5. I need to determine ratio. So ratio of 10 and 5 would be 2:1. Option C is the correct answer. Next. When a graph between two physical quantity is a straight line passing through the origin with positive slope, then the two quantities are okay. So we have two quantity and graph is passing through origin and it's a straight line. So if this thing happen, then the two quantity, let's say x and y, so these two quantities are in direct proportion. Okay, so directly proportional to each other. What is the velocity of the car from time 5 to 10 seconds? Okay, so velocity I need to determine. For that, I want my slope. So for slope, change in y divided by change in x, that I need. So let's figure out change in y. So change in y is going to be 8 minus 3. And change in x, 10 minus 5. 10 minus 5. So 5 upon 5. 1 can be the answer. And the slope must be negative because velocity is decreasing. The displacement time graph for two particles A and B is shown. The value of BA ratio BB. So for BA, this angle is going to be 30. This one is 45. And this thing is given as 15. So rest angle is going to be 30 degree for sure. So for A, the angle is 30 degree. For A, the angle is 30 degree. And for B, the angle is 45 plus 15. 45 plus 15, 60 degree. Now, the velocity of A divided by velocity of B. So, velocity of A is 10 30 degree for A divided by 10 60 degree for B. 10 30 degree value is 1 by root 3. 10 60 degree value is root 3 divided by 1. Now, let's solve this. So, VA upon VB value is going to be 1 ratio 3, which means option D is correct.